Long ago, in the ancient world, there was a king whose power stretched across the lands. His name was Dhul-Qarnayn. Allah had given him wisdom, justice, and authority. Unlike other rulers who used power for greed, Dhul-Qarnayn used it to spread truth and protect the weak. He traveled to the west, where he witnessed the sun setting over dark waters. Then he traveled to the east, where people lived with no shelter from the sun. He was a king who saw the corners of the earth. On one of his journeys, he reached a valley between two massive mountains. There, he found a people who could barely communicate. They said to him, "O Dhul-Qarnayn, beyond these mountains live two tribes, Yajuj and Majuj. They bring destruction wherever they go. They kill, they burn, they consume everything. Can you build a barrier between us and them?" Dhul-Qarnayn agreed, but not for gold or reward. He said, "The power my Lord has given me is enough. Just help me with your strength." Together, they built a mighty barrier. Huge blocks of iron were stacked until they filled the valley. Then molten copper was poured over it, sealing the wall like steel. The people looked up at the barrier in awe. Yajuj and Majuj could no longer harm them. Dhul-Qarnayn declared, "This is a mercy from my Lord, but when the promise of Allah comes, this barrier will crumble, and on that day, Yajuj and Majuj will be released." And so began the long wait. For centuries, Yajuj and Majuj were trapped behind the barrier. Who were they? They were human tribes, but their numbers were beyond imagination. They were described as wild, fierce, and destructive. Their faces were broad, their eyes small, their nature violent. They cared nothing for crops, animals, or human life. Wherever they went, they left only ruin. Every day, Yajuj and Majuj dig at the barrier, trying to escape. They dig all day, and by evening, they almost reach the end. But at night, Allah restores the wall, and they must begin again. This cycle continues, day after day, year after year, until one day they will finally say, "Tomorrow we will finish it, insha'Allah." And when they return, they will find the barrier as they left it. That day, the wall will crumble. When Yajuj and Majuj break free, it will be a sign of the end times. The Quran says, "Until when the dam of Yajuj and Majuj is opened, they will rush down from every hill." Imagine billions of people pouring out from behind the mountains like a flood of chaos. They will swarm across the earth, leaving devastation in their path. They will drink entire rivers dry. In one narration, when they pass a lake, the first group will drink all the water, and when the last group arrives, they will say, "There was once water here." They will eat every crop, every tree, and every animal. Nothing will remain. No army will be able to stop them. Their numbers are like waves of the sea. Wherever they go, people will flee in terror. At one point, they will even boast of conquering the heavens. They will fire arrows into the sky, and Allah will cause the arrows to return with blood as a test for them. They will laugh and believe they have defeated even the skies. The world will fall into fear and despair. During this time, Prophet Isa, Jesus, peace be upon him, will have returned to earth after defeating the false Messiah, Dajjal. But even he and his followers will not be able to fight Yajuj and Majuj. Instead, Isa will lead the believers to hide in the mountains. They will pray desperately to Allah for protection. The earth will belong to Yajuj and Majuj. Their power will seem unstoppable, but no power on earth can last forever. When the believers' prayers reach the heavens, Allah will send His army, not of men, not of angels, but of the smallest of creatures. Tiny worms will enter the necks of Yajuj and Majuj, and in one night, every single one of them will die. There, bodies will cover the earth like mountains of corpses. The stench will be unbearable. The world will choke under their remains. So again, the believers will pray, and Allah will send rain, heavy, cleansing rain, that will wash the earth until it shines like crystal. Rivers will flow again, crops will grow again, and peace will return. Dear viewers, the story of Yajuj and Majuj is one of mystery, terror, and divine justice. It reminds us to stay humble, to stay faithful, and to always prepare for the life to come. If you found this story powerful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment below. Which part of this story struck you the most? Until next time, stay blessed.